Hey guys, what's up? Casual Yu-Gi-Oh here, and today we're going to be doing top 10 archetypes that we'd like to see support for. First we're going to do my list, and then the next video is going to be his list.
Yeah, I had to split this up into two parts.
Yeah, so this is just stuff that we would like to see support for. This is not the top 10 archetypes that need the most support, because there's plenty of archetypes that probably need support that I could give two shits about. So, okay, so my number 10 is Cyberdarks. And the reason I put Cyberdarks number 10, it's a playable deck. The reason I think it's number 10 is while my version's playable with Malefics, I'm assuming anyone that tries to play Cyberdarks Pure is probably like, okay, I got it to like 25 cards and I don't know what to do with the rest of the deck. So they need, in my opinion, more spells and traps would be nice, more variety of what you could do. And then, I don't know, like, you could always try, like, okay, do you know how the ABCs, there's like, or, sorry, the XYZ, like X Head Cannon, Y Dragon Head, Z Metal Tank, and then they did make a fusion of those together, but they made a fusion of those.
Each one individually.
No, I'm saying like they made V Tiger Jet and W Wing Catapult, and they made VW Tiger Catapult, and then they fused that with the XYZ fusion. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, instead of doing Cyberdarks where you're like, okay, well here's just another main deck monster, you can do that, but instead of trying to make all those fuse into one thing, just make Cyberdarks where like there might be a new fusion of 2 Cyberdark monsters or 3 Cyberdark monsters, and then maybe you could have that fusion fused with Cyberdark Dragon or whatever. Like
essentially have like a build up.
Yeah, just more options. Just another play that you could do. I think would be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So in my opinion, that's stuff that they could go into. I love the original Cyberdark monster. They're great. I love the new searchers that you had, and honestly, I think that's all you need is those 2 searchers. I mean, you might be able to make one new card that like. They could make one new card that has a search that does something, discard this, do this something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty happy with that. I just think that they need more. As far as their fusions go, like I said, just make new main deck monsters that can fuse together. Doesn't need to be overly busted. Make them specific. That's an important thing. Make it specific.
Specific fusions would be nice.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it for me. I'm like handing it off to you.
Wow.
Okay. My number 9 is Volcanics. Volcanics is a deck that I just made not too long ago. And while I think the deck's really fun, and I mean, it's not fun for a lot of people, it's fun for the person that's using it. I like it, but I do think that I'm using a lot of stuff that's not part of the archetype to make it work, and I think it wouldn't hurt if they made some more volcanic main deck monsters or spells and traps that more Blaze Accelerator cards maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, because there's only one that's really usable.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is I think there could be more that could work.
Yeah, and then you could have other cards except the big one that use Blaze Accelerator, because you really only use one thing that uses Blaze Accelerator, right?
Right, pretty much. I mean, the rest of the volcanic main deck stuff wants to be pitched off Blaze Accelerator, but I think they could definitely add more spells and traps, or they definitely could add more main deck monsters, give you more things that could be, because right now it's just scatter shots the main thing you want to pitch.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if there was another thing that would actually have a good effect.
Just deal a little bit of damage off scatter shot, and that's really it.
Well, Scattershot blows your opponent's board up. That's really handy, and it does 1,500 burn damage. My thing is, like, what if you just did that and your opponent has a follow-up play? It'd be nice to have something else that maybe you could do. I don't know. Like, I think another level 4 Volcanic that has some cool effect would be cool. That way, when you do the Ties of the Brethren play, there's more options. That would be nice.
Instead of just having to go with, like, what you have.
The same 3.
Yeah.
The Barrier Statue, the Royal Firestorm Guard, which gets no effect on being special summoned, and then the Volcanic Rocket. Okay, so that's number 8. Number 9. Number 8 is Sylvans.
Yeah. Sylvans
is a deck that I've loved using for a couple of years, and like I just really think the main thing with me is they have options as far as like Sylvan monsters, but I don't think too many of them in the main deck are the best. So
see, here's kind of like an issue with like this list. Sorry to cut you off. Like, because like I like Sylvans too, and I would put something down for Sylvans. It's just like I know it's gonna be on your list because like.
Do you think they need support?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Sylvans definitely need support. They've got a bunch of stuff that's cool, but like a lot of it's not really like usable. So it's like
there's just like there's things in the deck that in the archetype that they made that are just like, okay, like I will never play this. Like it's just not good enough. I think if they added like a level 6 monster and then maybe if they gave Sylvans their own tuner would be nice.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that.
Yeah, and it's definitely a deck that you want to synchro summon with.
Yeah, they have the, I think his name's Cherub Sprout, is the one that can special summon from the deck a level 1 plant. So I'm saying, like, it'd be nice if they had their own tuner, that if it got excavated, it could special summon itself. Stuff like that. I don't know. Just, I love the trees. You maybe could make a level 9 tree that's a Sylvan that is.
I'd love some more level 9s.
Well, it would help because Sylvans you can do 9s in the deck. It would just be nice to have your own level 9 that you could do.
Yeah.
They have so many different options they could do. I think the spells and traps for the most part are fine. I mean, adding another spell trap into the mix would be nice. Because right now I'm having to use a lot of stuff that's not technically part of the archetype, but I still like the deck. It's still a playable deck. That's why it's only a number 8, because the deck's playable. It's good enough. I just would appreciate some extra deck stuff would be nice.
Yeah. Like definitely more playable than the Cyberdogs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Because I'm mixing them with Malefics is why. But yeah. I just think Sylvans, I think they could use some synchros, level 8 synchro, level 9 synchro maybe. Stuff like that. I don't know. Like one of my biggest problems is that Black Rose is a card, and as of right now, it really doesn't make a lot of sense to like play that card because you can't really go into it very consistently in Sylvans. So it just doesn't really work for me. Because like your normal summon has to go to Lone Fire pretty much every time. Lone Fire or the card that will get you into Lone Fire with Super Solar Nutrient, and that's what your normal summon has to go into. So it's kind of a shame. It is what it is though.
I mean, Lone Fire is a card.
You know, it is a card. I'm just saying, like, when they try to, like, I've seen people be like, well, here's other options you could play. And I'm like, they're just not as good as, like, what I could be doing anyway with the Lone Fire play. So I'm like, I'm not going to play the level 4 Sylvans if, like, you're not going to give me enough advantage. Glow Bulb's banned, so it's like some of the level 4 Earth Sylvans.
Yeah.
If I don't have Glow Bulb to make Nat Beast, I'm like, you don't look that appealing to me. So,
yeah.
Anyway, my number 7 is Legendary Fisherman.
I can't believe I never thought of that.
So I have the cards. I ordered them recently to finish it out to try to make the deck. And the deck's just kind of... What was cool about Mako in the anime was that he didn't just use Legendary Fisherman. He used, like, it was all the water stuff. And so I like water. And Murmillo's Atlanteans is finally, like, it's its own thing. And, like, now that they got more support with Deep Sea Aria and Deep Sea Divas at 3, that deck literally has enough where it could be its own thing now. And I don't need to try to combine 2 archetypes, which a lot of people laugh at, but whatever. I gotta sneeze. Say something.
Something. Oh,
God. But my opinion, what Legendary Fisherman needs is more of a reason to play the deck. I really think that trap card Sea Stealth Attack is not very good at all. And it's a rare, and like everyone's just like, oh, you could play that in the deck and build around that. That's not very good.
Yeah.
I think there just needs to be more reasons to why you want to play that. But I think Legendary Fisherman's cool. I love Legendary Fisherman 3. He's my favorite. He's really cool. The Citadel Whale, which was the Fortress Whale before, I would like more support for that. Would be cool.
I'd definitely like some more deep sea support.
Well, there's a few. When we say deep sea, we don't mean like Deep Sea Diva. We mean like legit underwater creatures. Yeah.
Give me an actual Kraken.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, Mako played Fiend Kraken. He played Koryoshin in the original duel with Yugi. Those are cards that you could redo because that's what they like to do. They'll redo those and give them an update. Do that. Do an update of Koryoshin. Like, that would be nice. Make him really good. That would be nice.
Just give us, like, leak versions.
No. That's something we need to say on this is when we're asking for more support, I hate Link Monsters to begin with, but 2, I hate when Konami just goes, well, here's your Link Monster. And I'm like, that's not support. I want more main deck stuff to play with this deck, more options, and you just go, like, make this Link Monster.
By the way, any deck can make this Link Monster.
Yeah, pretty much.
It takes 2 effect monsters. By the way, I'm not against Link Monsters, not wholly. There's a lot of them that just don't make sense.
Okay, so that was number 7. I have to sneeze again. I'll figure out when I'm going to do that.
Spread that sickness, boy.
Oh my gosh. Number 6 is Azir.
Of the
Nordics. Yeah. So they had a Link Monster that came out like 2 years ago. I don't care about that. Like, my opinion, what they need is more main deck stuff, more main deck Nordic stuff that actually can work. Because my problem is, like, I don't think the 3 gods work together in a deck as well as they should.
They definitely don't. Because
Odin and Thor, I found, like, you can kind of make those work, but Loki's stuff has to be so specific, and I just don't think they're good enough. Like, to make Thor, you have Goldfax can easily do that if you have the right setup with other stuff. With Odin, you have the Valkyrie of the Nordic Ascendants, and she can make Odin really easily, but I don't really think there's an easy way to make Loki, and I think that's a problem.
Also, what about the rest of like Nordic mythology? You just included like 3 gods and some like minor things.
Well, they had the serpent and they had the wolf. They added those two, but those cards are they're so like not playable in those decks.
Are you talking about Jormungandr?
Yeah, they added him in there as a serpent, but he doesn't look as cool as the XYZ.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like,
But the thing what I have a problem with is the wolf and that, which I forgot the wolf's name, Fenrir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The coolest wolf.
Well, they already made Fenrir into a card way back in the day. It's
the water guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they made him, and so they're like, okay, well, this
awesome.
is Fenrir of the Nordic, whatever. The problem with those is both of those monsters, the serpent and the wolf, have to be special to your opponent's field in order to do something. And it's very specific, and I just
cool idea, but Link exists now, so
links exist, and it's not something. I mean, I've looked into it. It's just not something that happens very often. It's not something you can constantly do. So yeah, I think there's plenty of stuff they could look into. I mean, you could make an actual field spell, not Nordic Lights, and make an actual Valhalla.
And it might be, an actual Valhalla would be amazing. It might not be like support that we're looking for. In a lot of cases, I don't know with your list, but in a lot of cases with my list, I just basically want complete remakes of things.
I don't think Nordics need a complete remake. They just need like.
I mean, I do.
No, like the main deck monsters of how you can get some of the gods out, that still works. And some of the equips can still work, but I think they just need to. I don't know, like you can pick any archetype, but like how they'll be like, okay, cool, you had your thing, we're going to give you a lot of new support to make it better. And I think that's what they need, an overhaul for sure. But I don't think they need an overhaul where you get rid of the old stuff.
They need like the Noble Knight treatment.
No, because the gods themselves are still like they're good because they're beat sticks and they can do some things. And they have when they die, they can come back. And that's a really good thing. So if they had more ways to put Nordic tuners in your graveyard so that can happen, because that's part of their effects as well. Is like if Thor dies, he can banish a Nordic Beast tuner or whatever to come back and do an effect. So they just need, I don't know, just a better, fully functioning deck that actually has more plays and that has that's it. It just needs an update. But that was for that one. Number 5 is insects. So I have that insect deck. I'm putting insects as one thing basically.
Okay, I was like, is that an archetype? I was like,
I mean, basically, your decks like that is like where it's like zombies. Zombies you don't consider as like an archetype. It's one full thing.
I actually do consider like zombies like an archetype.
Well, what I'm saying is like zombies isn't like, oh, I'm playing vampires in here. It's like, no, zombies work. Most of their effects are all like, just do a zombie monster, do this.
Yeah.
And they all work together. Shiranui are a zombie archetype, but like you can mix them with stuff.
Anything.
Yeah. So insects I'm putting as one big thing because that's how they're meant to be played, is basically all the stuff together if it works.
Yeah, they were just meant to thrive in the forest.
Yeah, bugs. Yeah.
Bugs.
My problem with how it works is I've tried to be like, okay, I'm going to make this deck with the new support that came out 2 years ago, the Weevil support. I guess, I don't know, I'm tired of me like belching and having to sneeze and shit.
It's okay. You've got like a chest parasite from Alien.
Yeah. But my problem with that deck is I tried to make it, and in my opinion, it's not really playable because your goal is like, okay, I get out the new Insect Queen. It doesn't do that much for you. Like, it's a cool card. It's just like, you're not going to win me a game probably. So it's like the Parasite card. Cool. I don't have an effective way to search that, so that's awesome. There's the Doom Dozer plays where you can like banish to make a Doom Dozer, but like that's kind of your power play, and I'm like, just it's not.
Turbo Petite Moth.
No, the Cocoon Evolution was a good thing where you can get a perfectly ultimate great moth that way, but like it just needs more. Like it needs more main deck stuff, like things that what am I using my normal summon on? What am I like they don't know.
Yeah.
And the field spell, the ballpark card with the normal insects, I guess it's just a weird thing, a weird direction to take the deck, and I really just don't think it's that.
They've added another effect and a jumble mess of effects that don't work together.
Yeah, it's kind of just 2 different play strategies, and I don't feel like it works.
It's like 15 different play strategies.
Yeah, it doesn't really work together. I don't know. I've been looking into like the spider stuff where like you want to put all their monsters into defense mode for reasons. I've looked into that. I don't know.
Links.
I'm not doing that.
No, I mean like you can't put those in defense position.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it kind of screws that up. Okay, number 4 is aliens.
Yeah.
So aliens, in my opinion, that's a deck that it's playable, but
it works.
It works. It's just once again, I have to use so many things that are not intended for the deck to make it work. Floodgates, continuous spell cards for Cosmic Fortress Golgar, but the deck could definitely use some juice as far as more main deck stuff that I could be playing.
Dude, I know what it needs. You need to be able to put more A counters down.
I think a field spell. Literally answers like a lot of these things. I made alien support. I've kind of lost that because that laptop took a dump. Yeah. But the stuff I made was I made a field spell that lets you take A counters off of, or it's like, I think I made the field spell where you could pick opponent's monster that had an A counter on it and just take control of it. I think is what I did.
Yeah.
And it's like, it needs something that's like, I can take it now. Now. I don't need to wait. I don't need to set something. I can take it now. Because that's what they should be doing. I think I called it the mothership.
Yeah.
And then I also think I gave that field spell where everything that has an A counter that's your opponent's monster loses 300 attack for every one.
Which is a basic effect that's already in Aliens.
It should be. No, it should be. But not every alien says that. And the problem with that is Cosmic Fortress Gold card can distribute A counters, but he's not an alien himself.
Yeah.
So I think I wrote it where like it doesn't matter what you battle, if you have A counters on it, you're losing 300 attack during battle.
Yeah.
If you're my opponent.
Yeah.
There's times where I need to put counters on Golgar, and I don't want him losing attack.
Yeah.
I gave him that. I made a ritual monster with the ritual spell that you could banish it from the graveyard to put an A counter on something, the ritual spell. And on top of that, I think I gave the ritual monster where like he got like I think I gave him 200 or 300 attack for every A counter that's on the field, which you may not think that's a lot, but if you can stack A counters pretty quick, that can do some damage.
You can get up there, yeah.
I remember what the other stuff was. So I had, so that was 3 of the cards, the ritual spell and the monster.
Yeah.
And the monster, I think I gave him like 3,200 attack or something like that. So he became beefy, really good, really big. And I think I gave him some protection where if he would be destroyed by battle or card effect, he could remove a certain amount of A counters to not be destroyed. I think I might have done just 1 to prevent it from being destroyed, which is kind of busted.
Like a once per turn sort of deal wouldn't be that busted.
So 2 other things that were kind of dumb. I made I remember it was like Ripjaw, Alien Ripjaw, and it was like if it was sent to the graveyard, you could put 2 A counters on something.
That's not the one I was thinking
the
of.
Cannon Soldier one.
Yeah.
I made Alien Hybrid, and it was like a 1,700 attacker that you could take an A counter off to do 400 burn damage.
Yeah,
what we agreed on.
I remember immediately being like, that's a lot.
It is a lot, but in my opinion, you got Tempest Magician, and now they took that away from you.
They did take away Tempest Magician, but Tempest Magician was like an extra deck monster. It was kind of difficult to go into.
Yeah, but this gives aliens like some new life of something to do with the deck. Is like, okay, you think A counters do nothing? Okay, we'll see.
No,
because if you can put A counters on the board really fast and really easily, you can do a lot of burn damage. I think that was cool, and it was level 4, so it worked with the deck.
A fucking insane amount of burn damage.
But I think that's stuff that Alien needs. So if Konami or anyone ever listens to this, that's what they should go with. Yeah. I think
Aliens.
A ritual monster was a cool idea for me because you could use advanced ritual art and pitch the level 4 normals, and then you could just bring it back. That's another thing.
Plus, ritualistically summoning aliens would be fucking dope as shit.
Yeah, the artwork was cool. The card I picked. If I could ever find these, I'll bring them up. I'd be glad to make them again. But the alien I picked was such a cool card. I just found it online, the artwork, and I just picked that. I was like, that's my ritual monster. I think I called him Alien Emperor, which I think is a cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for aliens. Number 3 is the original Elemental Heroes, and it's just the fusion monsters. So I've been kind of jacking around with them where I'm like doing play hands and being like, okay, does this work? Because now that we got fusion deployment, that's more support for that deck where it doesn't hurt the deck at all. You can just summon Blade Edge directly from your deck. That's not busted. But
can't wait for them to hit heroes.
You can hit the new stuff. Just like I'm tired of them.
Old shit.
I'm tired of them like hitting stuff that affects like all hero decks. Is like just like ban Shadow Mist, and like you'll notice a lot of the stupid stuff goes away.
Yeah.
Because that's all people do with heroes. And I even went against a hero deck not too long ago, and it was just like, oh, same old boring stuff. Cool.
Can't wait until like Clayman or some shit gets banned.
No, that won't happen. But what they need to do is, I had like I think I had Necroshade, Avian, Clayman, and Blade Edge. I think is what it was, and none of those monsters fused together. And I was like, that's sad because I play the original heroes. And I'm like, that's sad that you have all these monsters that there's no way to like. I think they have like 13 out of the original because there's 2 of them that Aster fused together. Like he redid Avian and Bristonetrix, and then he redid Shining Flare-Wayman to make Shining Phoenix Enforcer. So those 2 I'm not even talking about because those are just like refusions of like things that already fused together. I'm saying like you have so many combinations of stuff that does not fuse together. Like Clayman and Avian don't fuse together. Bubbleman and like Blade Edge don't fuse together. But like you could do so many different combinations of stuff. I think I literally made a list. I think there's like probably like 15 to 20 different combinations of the original heroes that don't fuse together, and it's like that definitely should be fixed.
Yeah, there's a lot of them where it's like that doesn't make sense. Why don't these fuse?
Yeah, Well, it just that's what the old heroes. That's what it should be. Where any combination of the originals you could fuse together. I'm not say any combination, but any two monsters of those should fuse together, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's something that they need to really work on, because people that love the old heroes like me, you want to be able to play that deck, and what that deck has a benefit of, or what it should that a lot of other decks shouldn't, is that because of all the different combinations of stuff you could play, there should be a benefit to you being like, okay, any two of these I could fuse together. And unlike, there's like Shaddolls and other stuff, Shaddolls, people are going to make Wind and Construct all the time. This way, it's like you can play the old stuff, and no matter what you got to play, and they're going to have different effects. So it's not like your opponent's going to be like, okay, why am I have to worry about for that? Because, like, no, you have to worry about my whole extra deck. I get any one of them out at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2 for me is Agents. I'm sure you saw that coming.
Yeah, another one that I just couldn't include in my list because it's like, that's a for sure.
I made Agent support a while back as well. Those are the 2 decks I made support for, was Aliens and Agents.
There's still a planet missing.
There's 2 of them. You keep forgetting this. Neptune and Pluto. They're missing both. And Pluto's a planet again. Yes, it is.
No, I mean, you can even go further. You remember Planet X? Like back when we were in fucking high school?
I don't.
You don't remember that shit? Oh my god.
So
there's a 10th planet in this whole shit.
Neptune, I think I made like a level 7 water monster, I think is what I made. Or maybe I made it, I think it was water. I don't remember what effect I gave him. I think it was pretty good. Pluto, you remember I made him like really good. He was a level 1.
Busted.
He was, I don't remember all what he did, but he was busted.
Because like in like Roman and Greek lore, Pluto's like the god of death. So
yeah, and that's what I based them around. Yeah,
should be strong.
And then what else did I do? I know I gave them a search spell card that was just looking through a telescope. I know I gave them that. That was 3 cards. I don't remember what the other ones were. Do you? Oh, I gave them a rank 2. I know I gave them that. That was like the moon. I gave them that.
Sailor Moon.
No, it wasn't Sailor Moon. It was like an archer. I gave him like an archer that did some stuff. I don't remember what the last one was. A synchro, probably. But I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember because we made like these fun little support cards that we wished like they'd make stuff for.
Actually, it might have been another spell card.
Yu-Gi-Oh card creator.
It might have been another spell card.
It might have been a field spell, like the universe or something like that.
No, because we already have Sanctuary in the Sky, and I was like, that's good. I didn't make it a spell card. I think I made it a normal spell card. And
also Master Hyperion is already the universe.
Yeah, pretty much. But in my opinion, that's kind of what Agents need, is fill out the rest of the planets, and I've been saying this for a long time, they really do need a kick in the ass. Like, they need more stuff. Because I try to play the deck right now, and I'm trying Barrier Statue, like the Barrier Statue of the Heavens with Ties of the Brethren.
Agents are sick, man. Like, I don't understand why
it's one of the coolest concepts for an archetype, is just doing on the planets.
The planets with a little bit of mythology mixed into them, just to put some more, like, just give us something. They're cool cards.
Yeah, if I can ever get those again, I'll re-upload those. Because that's something that I'd like to do on the channel. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Underground guys do a Could This Be Meta? I wouldn't call it that. I would just call it like, new support, does this work kind of thing. Or no, I wouldn't call it does this work, but just like, here's new support that we made off Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Maker. What do you guys think?
Okay. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. As nothing. Nothing.
What?
It's a bad idea.
What?
It's a bad idea. I was like, it'd be like one of the few instances in which I'd like suggest a link card. But like, I'm talking like something ridiculous in the game that hasn't been made yet, like a Link 9.
I mean, you can suggest whatever you want for your stuff, but if you're like, your stuff needs a link, that will not happen.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking like all the planets linked together. Maybe do it some different way other than a link, because links aren't specific enough.
They're not. I'm good. I don't need that.
Some sort of inclusion of all the planets together and Hyperion.
No, I don't need that. And then my number 1 is Roids. And Roids gets number 1 because I tried to make that deck. 2 years ago, I tried to make it. And I was like, this will be fun. So specific fusions, machines. I like all this stuff. It's a GX archetype. Yeah, the problem is the specific fusions that they made don't do enough. They literally do, like, the only ones I like is the Jumbo Drill. The Jumbo Drill actually has a good effect. He has piercing. I think that's really all he has. He has piercing. And he's 3,000. But if you power bond him, he's 6,000 with piercing. And I'm like, I like that.
You remember that one super specific one that takes like 5 different cards?
It's like Super Viacroid, Stealth Union. Yeah, I think that's what it was. He's a terrible card. I love his artwork. He's terrible. He loses half of his attack just cuz.
Yeah, fellas, if it takes 5 specific materials to make a fucking monster. 4, is it?
Yeah, it's 4 monsters. But well, it's still, you have to play Power Bond.
Yeah.
or the stealth. They have a mobile. They have a normal spell card that can fuse them together. Connection zone. It's like Vehicord connection zone. But regardless, it's like I shouldn't. If I power bond that thing together and I got the 4 specific things, and I didn't cheat to do it. You shouldn't be like, well, you lose half your attack. It's like, what kind of effect is that? And it doesn't even do that many. It doesn't even do that cool effects. I just used it for a fusion conscription target so I could search specific things. But that was basically it. That was really annoying. So in my opinion, Roids, add fusion monsters. The main deck monsters I think are fine. That's how a fusion deck can work. Like, this is why I make the argument with you with old school E-Heroes. The main deck monsters do not have to be badass, or like in the sense of like they don't have to be busted as all hell.
Make them goofy again.
It doesn't matter. Like, they don't have to have that cool effect. Make them have good artwork, but as long as they fuse together, you're a fusion deck. That's what you do. It's okay.
Fusing the cool stuff.
Yeah. And that's my biggest problem is they don't have enough good fusions. And stop making generic stuff. The more generic you make a card, the lamer it becomes, because then you see it all the time. And it doesn't make it cool when you get it. It's not like, oh, wow, I finally got that. It's just easy. So that's what I think Roy's needs. Just fill out the extra deck. It was pathetic. I had 3 or 4 things that were Roid based, and everything else was like an XYZ. And I'm like, dude, come on. This is supposed to be a fusion machine deck. So,
but it's like impossible.
It's impossible right now. That's why I gave up on it, because I literally couldn't do anything with it. So fix that, Konami. Just make Roid fusion monsters that are specific. You have so many cool Roid monsters right now. They're just sitting there with nothing. Oh, another thing. Jetroid is a card. This is something else I had a problem with. They came out with Mixeroid. Mixeroid said he could tribute him or something to special summon any Roid monster from the deck as long as it wasn't a wind monster. They were trying to avoid Speedroid stuff. You leave out Jetroid. Jetroid's a wind. Why is he getting punished? He should be fusing with something. They should have just said anything but a Speedroid card. That's what they should have said.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not including Frog the Jam.
Whatever. Okay, so that's it for my list. Look forward to Jesse's list. Hopefully this was able to get done in one video. But anyway, have a good one, guys.